So, I'm going to make a quick review for Reign of the Supermen. We watched that after watching Tomb Raider. Um, there's not much to say about the movie, honestly. It's a really good movie, like, probably one of the best animated movies ever. But there's just not much to talk on. Like, it's not... You can't commend its use of CGI because there's no CGI, it's just animated. You can't really... There's a great soundtrack, but really it only... The music and whatever is kind of bland, and it really only serves as a companion piece. Like in Resident Evil 2, the music is really good when you're in the moment, but are you ever going to actually listen to the soundtrack separately from the game? You'd love it while it's there, but are you going to look it up online and just be like, this is my jam? I mean, like the Arrowverse music as well. It's not the best. It just works as a companion piece. You're not going to go... It's not like Mega Man or Sonic the Hedgehog where you're like, yeah, this is actually pretty good separate from the game. You know, it's pretty good. It's literally just for that specific thing. Go watch, I'm going to link it in the description, Stysmask. He makes awesome remixes of all the Arrowverse songs, and that is how they should be. You know, that's not... You go look up an Arrowverse song, go look at how the remixes are. The remixes are good as their own little thing, rather than being good as part of a show. Because if you put the remix in the show, that won't end well. That'll be terrible. But if you just take the songs from the Arrowverse and put them in, aside from Duet was just not very good. Not the best. Well, it's not bad. It's just not good. But you know, take the Reverse Flash theme, which is probably one of the better ones. Take that and just listen to it, and just... It's not that good on its own. That's kind of how Reign of the Supermen is. I believe his name is Cameron Monaghan, but his name... but he plays the Joker on Gotham. Maybe not the Joker, I don't know if they're able to call him that, or if that's actually what he is. But, you know, technicalities. He's the Joker, okay? So he plays the Joker, Jeremiah Valeska, on Gotham. And he's really good in that role. Like, I was watching a video on Jeremiah. I'll try to link that in the description if I can remember what it was. I was watching a video on Jeremiah, and I just thought the whole time, like, no. I disagree in some points, but one thing he was right about was, he said, Jerome Valeska was like lightning in a bottle. Took all of the best parts of the Joker, put him into one thing, and did it right without coming off as cringy or fan... what's it called? Without coming off as fan service, right? So... yeah, and you definitely don't want it to come off as fan service, because fan servicey bits just... It's obvious that, oh yeah, this is what the fans want, so that's what we're doing. You know? So, you know, it's just kind of hard to put this in words. But he's such a talented actor that, he actually does the Joker, in Gotham, as well as doing Superboy in Reign of the Supermen. Apart from that, I'm not really sure there's much to talk about in regards to the movie. Lex Luthor tried to kill Superboy with a vial labeled Terminate, and Superboy didn't realize what was going on, but then when Lois Lane shows up, he's like, alright, listen, we both know you wanted to go down there and kill me. And then Lois Lane is like, yeah, I'm not Lex Luthor. So Lex is like, oh, or what the hell is going on here? And they just keep ignoring him, and then Lex Luthor steals the phone because Lois Lane's kind of preoccupied with something. And then da-da-da-da-da. And then Batman's in the movie, but he had like a cameo role, which is great. I didn't expect him to be in the movie at all. I even looked on IMDb. I wanted to see if anyone else was going to be in the movie, so I looked on IMDb. Or not IMDb, the front page of like Wikipedia, and it did not list Batman anywhere in the movie. I was like, huh. So he's not going to be in the movie. And then he was in the movie, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it's just a cameo, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I think it's better that way. But, you know, when you have Batman in there, and you're just like, oh, okay, I see. You know, I think if they put Batman in there any more than he was, it would have completely ruined the movie. But just at the time, I was like, oh, that's not cool. But then, I'm just like, oh, okay. I see. Would have ruined it. Like putting Deadpool and Logan, that would have messed up that movie completely. However, putting Deadpool in X-Men Apocalypse, they said it would ruin the tone. Disagree. He was in the original story, did not ruin the tone. Look it up. Either that or he was in the sequel to the story, which was much darker. Because Deadpool was involved in X-Men Apocalypse, or Age of Apocalypse, I think. And he was also in, I know for a fact, he was in the Deadpool, or not Deadpool, but he was in the X-Force comic book that dealt with, like, the reincarnation of Apocalypse or whatever. I know for a fact he was in that one, because that's the one where he shaves off, or he starts cutting off pieces of his skin and giving them to Angel so he can eat them and get stronger. It was gross. It was kind of disgusting. But, I keep going on so many tangents. I am sorry about that. Let's get back onto track. I think the thing with Superboy where he figured out that he was going to die, or he was about to die, I think that thing... I think that would have hit a bit more emotionally if we got to know Superboy a bit longer, and he did more than just be a brat. But, also, I think the reason it didn't work as well as it probably could have is because this is let me look it up real quick. Alrighty, this bad boy is... Wait a second, shouldn't it say somewhere? This bad boy is only 87 minutes long. Your typical movie gets to have more emotion in it because, or it has the potential for more emotion because it's a longer movie, you get to know the characters longer. Like the first Iron Man movie, I don't think there was too much emotion in that one. I'll have to rewatch it, I could be wrong. But in Infinity War, now obviously Infinity War is easier to drag out the emotion a little bit more because you've known the characters for so long. A similar thing for Logan is because it's in a continuity that you've watched all the other movies in that series. But say, I've never watched John Wick, but the term comes in mind. Say that seriously, I don't know anything about that series. It's in my head for some reason, so we'll use that as an example. Say you killed off John Wick or something right at the end of the movie and that was just a standalone thing, you already have more emotion in it than Reign of the Supermen. And now obviously the fact that no one died in Reign of the Supermen helps it. Or doesn't help the problem, but no one needed to die because that story is really... At one point, I think when the articles were first coming out, the movie was actually called Revival of Superman. Because when I was reading the articles, it said something along those lines, like, 2018, I don't remember what the years were or anything. I think this is 2019 movie, but if not, then it was like 2018, Death of Superman, followed by 2019's Revival of Superman, and something like that. I think that's what it was. I could be wrong though. But so I think they changed the term or the name. But either way, no one was ever intended to die in this movie. They were just supposed to... In fact, they were supposed to come back up. And also, I think emotion would have helped a bit more if I watched Death of Superman. My dad saw this at Walmart and was like, oh, you know what? Michael's been talking about this, so I'll bring it back. So we got part 2 of a 2-parter without seeing part 1. But I wasn't really confused, because everything that I knew, or everything that was in the movie, I could just trace back to the original comic book. So I wasn't really confused with anything. Now, Reign of the Supermen is very different than the original comic book, but from what I can tell, Death of Superman, aside from a few new characters, is pretty similar to the comic book. Just made for the New 52 continuity and has Damian Wayne in the trailer. So, I was never confused because I read the comic book. Yeah, so... But I'm pretty sure Superboy was made for this movie. Well, he wasn't made for this movie. He's in other things. He's been in Young Justice, the comic books, a long time ago. Again, he was in the original story back in the 90s. So, in fact, I think it was in 96 when that story came out. But Superboy was put into that movie. He was not in Death of Superman. And yeah. Oh, and at the end, Lex Luthor becomes part of the Justice League or something. Not quite, but he is part of the Justice League in the comics. And you see at the end of the post-credit scene, it's like Batman is talking about Darkseid, and it's like, all right, we've got to take him out. There's no way we can't keep remaining on the defensive. This attack has only delayed him. And Lex Luthor's like, then sign me up, boys. And I'm like, oh, cool. I get that reference. Yeah. So that's really all there is to say about the movie. I gave it a solid 10 out of 10. Actually, maybe more of an 8 out of 10. But, I give it a solid rating right there. And there's just not a lot to talk about. And yet somehow I pushed it up to 10 minutes. Huh. Well, now it's just going to look like I'm trying to monetize even though I clearly can't. Well, okay. I guess that's what I get for having tangents. Now we're 11 minutes. I really gotta stop. I only have 13 minutes of recording space, and I'm already taking it all up, so bye. Click here to do a thing, click here to do another thing, and there's a thing probably, and there's a thing. I'm not sure if those things actually exist. Peace.